Guidelines and specifications for stationery and letterhead. Parameters of the letter content, letter format guidelines, second page general letterhead guidelines. Sometimes the second page could have a little bit less information on it, maybe just the logo as opposed to the contact information and such. Paper stock and printing method. Some letterhead is already printed and you just have to use those pages to then print on, or if it's more of a digital copy of the letterhead, then you have to ensure that your printer has the specific colors that can be reproduced correctly when printing. And any particular types of paper stock, whether it's just regular paper or if it requires certain thickness. Font color and font alignment. The business card. Business card is a substrate, a small card on which a person's name, business affiliation, and contact information are printed on. Most often, a business card is one integral part of a larger visual identity system which adheres to a corporate or company brand and look. It'll be similar to the look of the letterhead because all of these have a consistent kind of overall look, but in terms of the layout, as you can see, it might differ. For instance, on the left side, you have the logo nice and big, and then on the right side, you have the person's name at the top, along with their phone number, email address, and even regular old address. This is a front and back card, so the back would just have the company logo, not much more information, but a little bit more graphics heavy. Here's some business card examples, and sometimes the goal of certain business cards is to be as creative as you can to stand out, right? Other times the goal is just to make it look nice and clean and professional and, not stand out differently too much. But as you can kind of see with this one, would be maybe an interior designer or so, right? They would kind of have, it looks like she made it look like paint swatches and even different types of fabric texture swatches and such, and laying out the text similar to how those swatches are, but really the information's a business card, and so that's kind of a creative type of look that they're going for. Here's another one for a business card for a carpenter. One of the tools that they use is a sandpaper, so having a business card kind of look like sandpaper and have the same kind of similar text printed on the back, but using their contact info, might put a smile on somebody's face and make them want to hire that person because of just the creativity they used in promoting their brand and business. Business cards and identity standards. Here's the main information that needs to go on a business card. So the person's name, their job title, their organizational corporate unit or department name, address, office location, phone numbers, fax numbers, email address, and even web address. And of course the company logo, it doesn't look like that's stated on there. Business cards, reverse sides. So sometimes the card has a second side to it, as we saw in a previous example. A reverse side may hold any of the following information or graphical elements. International Organization for Standardization Certification, so like their ISO, translations, additional phone numbers and office locations, brand division signature, and other graphics that are related to the overall brand experience. Business cards, production specifications. Have a template so that all employees have the same layout and everything for their business cards so that can represent that brand consistently. Card size for national and international use. Paper stock for general and executive cards, content, weight, finish. Usually for business cards, you don't want to just use a regular old sheet of paper. It's flimsy, it crinkles easily. You want to use some sort of higher quality card stock, and that would help the overall presentation and the durability. printing method for font and reverse sides, and this is the standard size for business cards. So it's 3.5 inches wide by 2 inches tall. However, by stating that this is the standard one doesn't mean that every single card is like that. These days, business cards are becoming more and more creative to try to help stand out from others, and so therefore some of them are completely square, some of them might be a cutout that looks kind of like some sort of shape or so, but in terms of the standard business card, 3.5 by 2 inches. Branded environments and signage. They provide information, aid means of access, reinforce the brand identity, and expand the brand experience. Here's an example, for instance, universities, colleges are pretty large geographically and spanned across a big space and have multiple buildings. So in order to guide people around to where they need to be, having a set of signage that are all branded the same or very similarly, that clearly show where people need to go, what buildings are which classroom is which, is an important thing, right? And so you can kind of see the different signs that are put together in this kind of signage package that all, even though they look a little bit different in terms of some of their layout, but they all overall have some consistent look in terms of graphics, their colors, their logo, things like that. Some more about branded environments and signage. An example for the American Folk Art Museum. As you can see, their signage that they used with the different colors and the interesting way of putting the text together and using a couple shapes creates a pretty sleek and modern type of look, and it's able to be represented in different colors, but it looks like their main color, as you can see on their the front of their building there, is all in red, right? And they have that similar kind of squarish pattern. And then there's up on the top, there's a banner as well. Here's some more signage that they used for it as well to change kind of the different types of colors and such, but still being consistent in their overall layout. And more signage as they use that same logo there. You can see on that sign, it's at the top, but then they show one of their pieces in there and have big text that helps, emphasize where what it is for. It's for the American Folk Art Museum. It'd be tough to read the text within the logo, so by bringing that text out, making it larger, making it white so it has good contrast from the background image, helps people be able to see that from a distance or as they walk by, because they don't have a lot of time when you're out and branded, and when you're out and outdoors, people are moving, so you want to get that information across to them within a few seconds, make it clear as possible, and not give them too much to read, but enough to know the name and to know the address. So, branded environments and signage. Corporate buildings and other offices have them. Research facilities, assembly plants, wayfinding signs within corporate structures, museums, zoos, airport terminals, retail environments, restaurants, and sports stadiums. General signage and brand standards and guidelines. Signage should convey the brand personality and be consistent with all other applications. Signage should be clearly visible and legible from distances, and ensure signage is consistent with the corporate retail environment, architecture, and within the entire brand environment. As you can see from these two examples, especially the Apple one, big symbol there, easy to see, very clean layout with the colors. It almost looks like an Apple product itself, the whole building, right? So that's really consistent. Starbucks as well, The synonymous logo that's on all of their drinks is prominent right on the building with a nice thick text that states the name of the building. General signage brand standards and guides. Consider building identification. Consider the eye level. Consider the position of the logo in relation to the architectural elements. Consider font consistency, and consider the relationship of the signage design in lobby area and to door signs and overall interior look. That concludes this part of the presentation.